And those are what drove their thinking. The reasons they give may or may not be the real reasons they came to their conclusions, but it's the best anyone can do. The social theory also explains why people tend to give such weak reasons for their beliefs at first, or when their intended audience doesn't need much convincing. It would be a waste of time and cognitive resources to construct grand slam reasons for everything I said and did and thought when it wasn't necessary. Instead, I can offload some of that work to other people. For example, if I say, I want to have lunch at ABC Burgers, well, my friend might respond, no thanks, I had burgers yesterday. And I might reply back, oh, well that's no problem. They also have hot dogs and great salads. But if my friend said, no thanks, I'm trying to spend less money eating out this month, I could reply, oh, well, ABC Burgers is really cheap and I've got a coupon. Now what's going on here is that I'm providing reasons only as my friend presses for them. If they press harder and harder, my reasons will become better and better until either I win them over or we come to some different, more harmonious decision. So when people appear to be lazy reasoners or to have bad reasons or none at all, it's usually—
This is why debate lords have no friends.
Just the case that they're using reason as it evolved to function, socially. It starts off weak, improving if others push it, and always tailoring its work to the intended audience. The social theory of reasoning can even explain the existence of biases that otherwise make little sense. For example, it would seem that in coming to conclusions about the world, it would behoove an organism to pay particular attention to information that went against what it believed. I mean, that way, they would be able to adjust their beliefs, making them truer, more general, and more complete. To a certain extent, that is what happens, but not always. When someone does their own research, they often come to the very conclusion they wanted in the first place. This is called confirmation bias, our tendency to look for, prefer, and interpret information so that it confirms what we already think. It frustrates our ability to accept new, inconvenient data and is a problem for the intellectualist view of reason. If reason is for finding truth and making better decisions, why would it have this major weakness? Well, because, the social theory says, reasoning is a group activity. Let's say that I think option A is true and the best, and you think option B is true and the best. Well, if we both researched both options and sifted through reasons in support of both options, we would both have twice the work to do than we would if instead I simply came up with reasons for why I was right, and you attended to reasons for why you were right. The confirmation bias at least halves the cognitive work that must be done. Now, sometimes a lone reasoner will have a bad idea, or a decent idea with some bad parts. The reasons they have to justify for and argue for it will be sufficient for them and those who intuitively agree, but they may be weak. However, subjected to deliberation, put forth into the machine of collective thought, it can be evaluated and judged not by one mind or a group of minds thinking alike, but by something very special: the crowd. Humans have long known of the wisdom of the crowds, the phenomenon by which a collection of many people can process information into a conclusion better than any one person could do alone. It's why we don't trust big decisions to a single person, no matter how educated or powerful.
Okay, don't get your fucking hopes up, chat, okay? This is just YouTube, man, with dumb YouTube idea, okay? I am the dictator here. That's all I got.
Well, they are. Instead,
I'm just kidding, dude.
We ask a group of people to deliberate, to reason together. In this way, the biases and errors of each is smoothed out and the decision wiser. In a famous example, it's been repeatedly shown that if you ask a bunch of people to guess how many jelly beans are in a jar, you'll find that the average of all their answers is closer to the real number than any one individual was alone. What happens is that although some people may guess a number that is like way too big, that mistake is balanced out by the fact that others will inevitably guess a number that is way too small. Altogether, their disagreement evens out into spectacular accuracy.
Motherfucker, the people who are saying chat should rise up and unionize or whatever, that's why, I mean, while I try to guide the chat in a particular way or guide this community in a particular way, that's why I rely so much on the community and the chat itself. Okay? More than most other content creators would. That's why I get additionally upset, or more upset than normal people would, when I see like bad takes in the chat. You don't rely on us, you snipe great takes, great names. That's not true. That's completely untrue.
We have now arrived at the problem. Reasoning evolved to be used socially, where many different perspectives had to all deliberate towards a common conclusion. Such contexts are becoming less and less common, and it is becoming easier and easier to simply be a lone reasoner, justifying only a particular viewpoint without doing the harder work of deliberating and acting. The internet gives voices to more perspectives than ever before in our history, but it also makes it easy to disengage from accountability and to find places where everyone believes what you do. Furthermore, because of technology, we confront more issues more rapidly than ever before that we are expected to have opinions about, and the growing complexity and specialization of the modern world makes it difficult for each of us to have well-informed, prepared reasons for the accelerating accretion of intuitions we must form. In response, we look for people who can defend our intuitions for us. The reasons they give don't have to be good, just good enough that we can feel like justification exists. In the past, unconvincing reasons had to be painted on sandwich boards, but now, the democratization of communication means that even unpopular, unconvincing, nonsensical ideas can be presented with the same trust-inducing typefaces and professional look as common ones. People can challenge the weak reasons of others, show them to be contradictory, and produce better reasons for their side, but to what end? It's all preparation for a debate that never comes. We each play a very small role in deciding how society is run. Even if a good faith discussion between a representative slice of America came to a resolution, if nothing can come of it, why not just throw shade and sick burns or revel in the pleasure of reasoning by treating everything like a big giant puzzle? It's easy to think that it doesn't matter. Because after all, those in charge, the brilliant scientists and powerful billionaires, will surely come to the rescue. Some giant techno-salvation.
It's like my debate with Lamont, yes.
Is surely on the horizon. Perhaps it is, but everything we know about reason suggests that those implementing it should be held accountable by as many different perspectives as possible. Leaders could lead deliberations and be elected for their ability to moderate social reasoning. But that's boring. Why lead when you could follow? Look at what some people believe and generate reasons for why they're right, and they'll love it. Of course, the hard work, the real work, the work that truly elevates us on this planet is not in telling people that they're right, but in trying to convince others, and in doing so, use reason as it evolved to be used. The future.
Okay, you guys always say you don't read the good comments. Here you go. Speaking about biases, a non-American from a poor third world country used to think that people looting and destroying their own communities and the recent riots are just plain stupid and greedy, but now I realize that the systemic racism in America are just that bad, and even though vandalism is bad, now I realize that it shouldn't be the focus of the discussion because it isn't actually the core of the problem. There you go. Good take. Boom. Sniped the fucking good take, dude. There you go. Sniped it. Don't trust the joke thief dictator trying to fool us, chat. Unionize. Our jokes belong to us and should not be stolen by the streamer. Yeah, there is this duality where there are these two different conflicting interests that you have. On the one hand, you don't want your joke to be stolen by a streamer. On the other hand, you want streamer to acknowledge, recognize, and repeat what you are saying. So which one is it?
The future of reason may in fact be the past of reason. In practice, what does all this look like? Well, some researchers have gone so far as to recommend national deliberation days where citizens celebrate by literally joining small groups and talking through their opinions and comparing reasons. Tests of such strategies have shown that a return to the small, targeted discussions our reasoning abilities evolved to excel in leaves all participants with a greater understanding of not just what they believe and why, but about decisions that could actually be made and actions that could be taken. Others have gone even further, recommending that the future of reason at its best is the construction of a lautocracy, a form of government where decisions are made not by elected leaders, but by people literally chosen at random. We decide the fate of a person this way. Why not the fate of the people? What if decisions were made not by politicians alone, but at least occasionally by groups of actual citizens representing differences in thought, not just geography, who were brought together and paid for their time to learn from experts and then deliberate on an assigned issue until a conclusion was reached, or at the least, a recommendation? Instead of being motivated by re-election, money, attention, and power, individuals chosen at random would have only their conscience to guide them.
Is he joking? Like, what the fuck is he saying right now? I can't tell if this is serious or not. He's just kidding, right?
Special interests and corporations wouldn't be able to cozy up to those likely to be elected, because if any one of us could someday serve, they'd have to cozy up to and protect all of us. Instead of the learning and deliberation being done by people you will never meet with offices and buildings you can't access, gradually, over time, more and more of your very own neighbors would have had the honor. People chosen at random would obviously lack the same celebrity status and mandate that elected leaders cultivate and achieve. And iconic figures we relate to aren't bad, but our understanding of reasoning is making it more and more clear that we evolved.
The problem with this way of thinking is that it always comes from a top-down approach to power and politics. It's always, and it is like very capitalist. That's the same kind of energy of the chatter who says, Son, why do you want the janitor to be the CEO? Right? And it's like, why is it that you automatically assume that the janitor is going to be the singular individual who makes the decisions rather than a more democratic process in the workplace where they get one fucking vote? And the alternative to this would be to give the individuals more power rather than find a random assortment of individuals who make the final decision process instead of maintaining the same kind of top-down power structure. There should be more of a bottom-up power structure. It's more just if it's chosen at random, but you still ultimately have 12 people you still ultimately have like 12 people, like a jury, deciding on certain ideas after consulting experts, rather than a bottom-up approach where you empower individuals to make decisions or make more responsible decisions in a similar democratic structure, ultimately leading to some form of governance. You are missing. I feel like you're missing the point. 12 is the arbitrary number. I made up the 12 number. It doesn't matter. You're getting caught up on the. You're getting caught up on the random. Or you're getting caught up on the number side of it. I think he's saying that humans are so bad at working together. Better solution for it to be the RNG since randomness. No. You're missing what I'm trying to say. I'm not doing a good enough job of describing my point of view, I think. Okay. My position is that accountability, like in a structure like a co-op, would rely on giving every individual more responsibility, more power, and therefore would be a better way to share the decision-making process rather than continue to hold the decision-making process in the hands of the few. I'm talking about the organization of power being spread out as much as broadly as possible, rather than adding just an RNG element. Take a moment to think it through, man. What? Okay, guys. Okay. While this would still be somewhat more democratic, I guess, or somewhat more just than the current form of governance, what my point of view is that that still relies on the pre-existing distribution of power being held in the hands of the few, rather than having the exact opposite approach to power. I don't understand how an entire community of leftists are literally getting upset at me describing the heart of the anti-capitalist argument. I don't know if you guys are baiting me or like what's going on. I'm literally saying that ultimately this seems more democratic or more just, the lautocracy that he's describing. But what would be even better than that is to dismantle the concentration of power, instead of randomizing it, dismantling that structure in its entirety by offering more power to people in lower ranks of society. Because it's a dumb take in the form of disagreeing with Vsauce when you agree with him. But he's not even making this argument as like a much better way of organizing society anyway. He's just describing what a lautocracy would look like. Like, there's 33,000 people in here, and a big chunk of you guys, long-term community members, just fucking shat on the concept of worker-owned cooperatives and councils. Like, literally, just I wanted to describe it in a simpler in a way that like relates to how in a way that relates to concentration of power and our understanding under a capitalist organization of the economy. And literally everyone fucking just, every single person just shat on that idea. It's kind of weird. God damn, dude. That proves the point of the entire video. People don't know their actual stances. Yeah. Workers can have ownership of the means of production without having to make decisions on every little thing. Still, we need representatives, e.g. in unions. You have union reps, right? I wasn't even saying that like every person gets to. I've often talked about how direct democracy in every facet of your life would literally be unmanageable, and it would be horrible because ultimately Marxist theory revolves around expanding on individual freedoms, such as the freedom to choose whatever the fuck you want to do and have more time to yourself, figure out more fulfilling, emotionally satisfying forms of labor for yourself, self-fulfillment, yada, yada. So if you were too busy literally fucking voting on every single minute thing that happens in your collective, then you would have no time to do anything else. So I don't disagree with that. My point was simply that this approach still relies heavily on a concentration of power at the top rather than flipping that in its entirety and giving people more means to make decisions within their lives, ultimately deciding on other individuals to decide for them still. I wasn't saying that like everyone, there should be a referendum on every single thing, like, I don't know, zoning restrictions and like that. Kind of disappointing.
Not to leave the thinking up to a few great minds, but to the authority of the great mind, the lumbering organ of thought that is everyone and everything. This is, in fact, how democracy first worked. Lotteries were used to fill many political positions in ancient Athens. Aristotle explained that the appointment of magistrates by lot is thought to be democratic, and the election of them is oligarchic. An oligarchy is government by only a small number of people. Look, regardless of how reason is brought back to its social roots, if we can build more and better arenas for deliberation and use them to apply reason properly to hyper-objects like the impact of our emissions on the planet, we'll have taught one heck of a lesson to people 100, 1,000 years in the future. I like to think that although widening participation will be difficult, it might provide us with a kind of existential security. The impact of emissions on our planet is not going to be the last hyper-object we face. If we can do a good job with it, maybe far in the future, when our civilization has advanced to the point at which, I don't know, people can be quantumly recreated or something, they'll look back at our time and say, hey, let's bring them all back to life. We could use the cooperative abilities they had then. Ultimately, the old saying that history is the great teacher isn't a bad guide. We will all someday be teachers ourselves, because someday we will all be history. We will someday be the ancients, and we can choose what that will mean. And as always, thanks for watching.
Don't you think Vsauce random sample autocracy approximates the bottom-up approach you were talking about? I like having more participation from random individuals. I just don't trust RNG. And I also don't trust human beings actually doing RNG and instead manipulating the process to their own benefit. So spreading it out as far as possible, spreading the power out as far as possible to accountable individuals that are still beholden to their benefactors. Their benefactors being people that put them into that position of power is still a better way to operate. Are you against the jury system? No, of course not. But the jury system is actually a great example of how ineffective that process is, especially when you have two sides that literally try to manipulate the jury selection system as best as they possibly can. So the jury system is not necessarily the jury system is not necessarily as foolproof as you claim to be. So if you had that same situation revolve around if you had that same concept if you gave that kind of power to that same exact fucking concept to people that like control the entire world, then it would be terrible. Yes, dude, I watched the Andrew video. Just go back in the VOD a little bit. What is this?
Hopeless because they can't use an iPhone? Maybe the one who's hopeless is the one who can't stop using it. You think I'm out of it because I'm not on Twitch? Well, maybe I get Twitch, but I just think people watching other people play video games is a waste of fucking time.
True, dude. He's so right. Dude, imagine watching other people play video games. What the fuck, dude? Maybe I think it's fucking waste of time to watch someone do commentary. Okay? That's so dumb. Imagine watching someone do commentary on a TV screen rather than have a conversation with my friends. What is entertainment if I don't simply understand it? Like, imagine watching televised sports, dude. Oh my God. A bunch of people literally chasing a ball and you're just sitting there watching. Notice how that sounds stupid when you describe it? It's literally entertainment. Just say you don't personally understand it and move on. Playing sports is fun, but motherfuckers love watching sports too. The stuff he said before is even more Pepega.
In India, young people touch old people's feet.
Wait, what? Is there going to be fucking TOS shit on here? Because it's HBO, I don't really know. Hold on, let's see. I'm going to scrub through this real quick. Fucking can't scrub through shit because it's Twitter video, obviously.
In India.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right, good. Some fucking nice boomer shit here.
In India, young people touch old people's feet to show reverence. Japan has a national holiday called Keronohi, Respect for the Aged Day. You know the reason why advertisers in this country love the 18 to 34 demographic? Because it's the most gullible. Yeah. A third of people under...
Yo, he's so old, dude. Yo, you're so fucking old, bro. Oh my God. Imagine being old and so bent that you're just fucking old. Jesus Christ, dude. Holy shit.
35 say they're in favor of abolishing the police, not defunding, but doing away with a police force altogether, which is less of a policy position and more of a leg tattoo. 36% of millennials.
Bro, oh my God, this is great. This is straight up great. This is fucking awesome. Oh, this is fucking awesome. Says the guy who has a whole classic commercial talking about how his age group needs to beware of scams. It's just straight boomerism.
I think it might be a good idea to try communism. But much of the world did try it. I know millennials think that doesn't count because they weren't alive when it happened. But it did happen.
As long as I do this smug approach and I say things that correspond to your personal biases that you have developed as a consequence of social conditioning your entire lives, you're going to laugh because I'm the smug guy.
and there are people around who remember it. Pining for communism is like pining for Betamax or MySpace. So when you say, you're old, you don't get it, get what? Abolish the police and the border patrol and capitalism and cancel Lincoln? No, I get it. The problem isn't that I don't get what you're saying or that I'm old. The problem is that your ideas are stupid.
Woo! Yeah, you fucking got him, dude. Or maybe the fucking future that dipshits like this asshole left for our generation is dog shit. So much so that the organization of both the economy and the political structure that they have relied on for many, many decades, that they are comfortable existing within, that they've been able to cultivate a significant amount of capital within, and this is for old people in general, is not working for next generations. So they are looking for different solutions and are recognizing that that is not a foolproof system, right? And part of the reason, or part of that recognition, it comes from extending, or rather searching for ideas that were different from the past. When SC Cup's agreeing with you, you're wrong. Yeah, I mean, I'd love her to agree with me. Imagine the economic system he's shitting on being preferred over the dog shit systems his generation created. Hey, your favorite comedian? Shut up.
If you say, let's eat in the bathroom and shit in the kitchen, yeah, that's a new idea. But I wouldn't call it interior design. You think someone 80 is hopeless because they can't use an iPhone? Maybe the one who's hopeless is the one who can't stop using it. You think I'm out of it because I'm not on Twitch? Well, maybe I get Twitch, but I just think people watching other people play video games.
I think this take is great because this is so fucking stupid. It's literally directed towards old people who also don't understand these concepts and will refuse to recognize the pain and suffering that they've subjected younger generations to, whether it be climate change and its disastrous impact on our way of life, or whether it's like the extreme wealth hoarding and the normalization of a capitalist organization of economy that has left the future generations to deal with so much income and wealth inequality. Just like he's failing to understand all of that, he's literally admitting that he does not really understand the concept of entertainment, a new form of entertainment. And his audience doesn't get it either, because they are the type of people that would go to a taped studio, like a live, they would go to a fucking studio to watch Bill Maher in the middle of a pandemic.
Is a waste of fucking time. 20% of Gen Z agree with the statement, society would be better off if all property was owned by the public and managed by the government. And
wait, what?
Video games is a waste of fucking time. "20% of Gen Z agree with the statement, society would be better off if all property was owned by the public and managed by the government. And another 29% say
wait, that's kind of fucking
they
chill.
don't know if that's a good idea. Here's who does know. Anyone who wasn't born yesterday.
Fucking got him, dude. Yeah, motherfuckers be like, man, any other way of doing things is so stupid. We've definitely seen it all before. And then they turn around and talk about how Reagan was tight. Didn't Bill just post a video about how great China's infrastructure is? Yeah, don't worry. He's just conflicted, dude. He's just... His joke writers must be older than him. He has no argument. He just says it's stupid. Bill's sarcasm is dry as benching people's wife. Okay. So first and foremost, I need to I don't know if C-Mac is still in here. First of all, shouts out to C-Mac. Hope you're getting better. I don't know if he's in here, but I was planning on doing Okay Buddy today. And also, before doing that though, I have to cook, as you already know. I was planning on making a return to something that I promised I would make a return to.
Hello everyone, this is
As a secret. And that is a show. That's a show called... It's a show on the Learning Channel called... It's a show on the Learning Channel that revolves around 3 months, 3 30-day months, when two strangers get together and try to overcome American immigration policy. Overcome the restrictive American immigration policy. They get together and decide, what a historic day. Turn off slow mode. What if I just turn this off right now? Another one. Oh my God. Not Your Average African has like so many lined up, boys. Fucking lined up. Holy shit, dude. Imagine showing the stream to Bill Maher right now. You started this one. Apparently he's one of the best couples. Yeah, but fucking I don't really remember. And also, I feel like if we go halfway into it now, I wake up today and the first thing I see was your slander. Please don't debate. I'll be sad. Your mods hate you, low? Wait, what do you mean? Listen, this is something that the community has demanded, okay, for a very long time. For the newbies, like, this is where we were at. Like, this is the peak of content, okay? The fucking peak. This is the salt mines of content. Okay, this is democracy in action. There's no need for a lautocracy. There's no need for any of that. This is the benevolent dictator finally coming to terms with the needs of his community. Okay? Let him know on Twitter. Here, you gotta pump it for me then. Let your fucking friends and family know. It's finally here. 90-day Rioxe is back. Time to watch two incompatible strangers fight to dismantle the American immigration process and find love. There you go. www.twitch.tv/Hasanabi. Promises made, promises kept. You were here, boys. You were fucking here for that. You were here for that, dude. I'm going to wait a little bit before we get started because I don't want to fucking... I don't want to fucking, you know... Why do you call it React-say? Oh, because 90 Day Fiancé, 90 Day React-say? This is a big moment. You're part of Hasanabi chat history. This is lore. This is where legends were born. I can't wait to tell my grandchildren about this. Yeah. Why is chat so slow right now? I think it's broken. Chat is losing its mind. .429 will be remembered. The longest pause ever, dude. The longest pause in the history of mankind was when I stopped watching 90 Day Fiancé. And now we're back. You two frogs are going to eat a buffet. My boyfriend's a fucking loser who went to pilot school instead of witnessing this. Okay, let's get started on Kalani on Asuelu. Let's do it.
What? You're so happy already? You're so happy already?
I'm Kalani, I'm 29, and I'm from Southern California.
Oh my goodness gracious. What do you want? What do you want?
I'm a single mom. My son's name is Oliver. He's 5 months old.
Hey, you're okay.
But I love to be around him, even on his worst days.
Hi, love. Hi, my love.
Hi,
You're so missing you, Mamie.
Being a single mom is really hard. Doesn't matter if you're tired or you're sick or you feel
We got something for everybody. We got juicers. Like, I mean, seriously, look at that. They even have juicers in the 90 Day React phase now.
crazy. That's your #1 job and that's your #1 priority. But having a family that supports me so much makes everything easier. I have my mom and my dad, my sister Kalini, and my brother Nick. My dad is Samoan, my mom's white, and we were raised Mormon. My dad came to America when he was 12 to pursue the American dream, and he worked his ass off for like 30 years to provide for his family. My dad did have a very hard life, and I know he didn't want us to struggle the way that he did, so he wanted us with white guys, and he wants me to be with someone who can provide for us.
You want to help Mama get ready?
In the past, I kind of had a thing for like older white guys. Preferably gingers and Jewish men. But my fiance is the complete opposite of that.
It's a coconut.
Asuelu is 23 years old. He's from Samoa, and he is Oliver's father. He grew up in a small fishing village, and he's never left Samoa. Like, he comes home and like feeds pigs and feeds chickens and like cracks coconuts. We just come from completely different worlds. The first time I met Asuelu was when I was on vacation in Samoa. He was the activities director at the resort I was staying at.
Someone in the chat said America will ruin him, bro. He's Samoan, okay? America is already like responsible for ruining him, okay? Straight up, as a spawn point. Like, it's literally the most obese place on the planet, directly as a consequence of America ruining him and others.
He kind of semi-stalked me around the resort, but it was really sweet. He'd like watch after me when I was swimming in the pool or if I was walking around. And one of the nights I saw him shirtless and I was like, okay, this could work. Before being with Asuelu, I was a virgin. In the Mormon faith, you're taught that you don't have sex before you're married. But after my second visit to Samoa to see Asuelu, I felt like I found someone I loved and I wanted to experience it with him. Oh, wow. So we did the deed. My family was not supportive of me being with Asuelu. They just thought that maybe he just did this with like all of the American tourist girls. They thought he was just taking advantage of me. And then I had to tell them, hey, I'm not a virgin anymore and I had sex. And by the way, I'm having a baby.
God damn, bro. He literally just looked in her direction and boom, pregnancy, dude. How the fuck do you fuck one time and you get pregnant? How do you one shot a pregnancy, dude? One tapped. God damn.
My dad flipped out when he knew I was pregnant. And my sister made it seem like he did it on purpose so that he could just get to America. I felt happy, but there was this like looming shame around me that I just felt like everyone's gonna hate me.
You speed ran it.
Even though Asuelu wasn't there for Oliver's birth, I did decide to take him to Samoa when he was 2 months old. Hi, Bubby. He was like, well, where should we raise him? And then he was like, oh, obviously America, he always says it, more opportunities. So we decided to move forward with the K-1 visa and bring him to America so we can get married and be a family. It's a few days before Asuelu arrives, so my life is just psychotic. Oh my gosh. I'm dealing with my 5-month-old, and I'm dealing with bringing Asuelu here. I'm dealing with how he's going to act with my family, how they're going to act with him. It's just a lot.
You want this in here?
Yeah. Can you set it by the table, please?
Oh no, dude. Wait, is this Orange County? It looks like it. It looks like Huntington Beach or some shit. Did she say Orange County and I missed it? Oh no, dude. Dad literally wanted a white husband, lives in Orange County, has a white wife. This is gonna be some fuck shit right now, dude. Okay. All right, let's keep it going.
Asuelu is basically the opposite of what my dad wanted for me. And I think that's his #1 thing when it comes to Asuelu is he just wants to make sure Asuelu is coming to actually take care of our son and to be with me.
When's he coming?
He's coming in 2 days.
I don't even know the man's name.
Well, his name is Asuelu.
Asu who?
A-S-U-E-L-U. Asuelu.
Asuelu.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't really ask questions to my daughter about her fiance. It's because I don't approve of her relationship, but it's too late for me to have my opinion now. All I have to do is protect her. Well, you know how I feel about you being with my kind of people.
I know.
I don't like, it's just the way I was born and raised up. My biggest concern is he's only 23 years old, and he's coming from Ireland to the United States. It's a fast life here, and it's a slow life there. So when am I meeting this guy?
I think we're having a family dinner the day after he gets in. I'm just scared of how few will be in a room with him.
Kalani is nervous for me to meet her fiance. It's because I speak louder with my hands than I do with my words.
What are you expecting of him, or what are you?
Hopefully he's a good person. I know I love my grandkid.
Yeah. I think you know me well enough that I wouldn't be with someone who wasn't a good person or who I didn't.
Well, we shall see, right? You know, I've been working my ass out for the last 30 years. You know, I'm not gonna allow anybody just to come in and mess things up, like, even with you or my grandson, right?
I know. I'm afraid that when my dad meets Oswego that he's just not going to like him. He's very intimidating and he knows it, and he kind of plays that up. He wants men to know right off the bat that he'll whoop your ass if needed. So it'll be ugly if he doesn't like him.
I hope your decisions you're making doesn't turn around and bite you.
Oswego only has 90 days to win over my whole family. It's not just my dad, he has to win over my sister too. When it comes to my relationship with Oswego, I wasn't really honest with her, and I have to come clean before Oswego comes to America. My fiance Oswego arrives tomorrow, and I'm so excited. But at the same time, I feel kind of nervous.
Motherfucker said, I speak with my hands better than my words. Like, what the is he gonna beat his ass? We haven't had a fucking fight sequence in 90 Day Fiance in a long time, dude. Kind of excited. Sorry, I'm also... Or does he mean in the Italian sense? Yeah. Maybe he means like this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we haven't seen ass whoopings in 90 Day Fiancé since Chantel. And they gave Chantel, and shouts out to Pedro, who is a Twitch streamer. Don't think he's Italian?
Because there's a lot of my family members that don't approve of our relationship, so I don't know, I'm having mixed emotions.
There aren't documents in this one, so don't worry.
I've lived with my sister Kalini for the past 5 years, but I'm in an Airbnb right now because she hates Oswego and she refuses to live with him. My sister and I are so close. Obviously, when the baby came, she zoomed into the dad role and helped me with him and took care of him. But Kalini doesn't really approve of my relationship with Oswego because I told her that Oswego had cheated on me. I wasn't really honest with her in the beginning of our relationship. I didn't really tell her when him and I were official or on or off. And during one of our off times, he ended up having sex with someone else. To me, it wasn't cheating. But my feelings were hurt, so I kind of played it up more than I needed to. But I never actually told my sister the truth. And now she hates him and she just doesn't want me to be with him. I forgave Oswego, and I feel like I want my sister to give him a chance because I am going to marry him and I want them to get along. I want them to have a relationship. So I invited my sister to drinks because this really is the last chance I have with her to kind of come clean before Oswego comes to America.
Hello, everybody. Hi. Come on in, lovely. Yeah.
How's the baby?
He's good.
Yeah.
Since Oswego's come into the picture, me and my sister are definitely not as close. We used to be inseparable, but I do not like Oswego because he cheated on her. If I had it my way, he just wouldn't be in the picture whatsoever.
When does he get here? Tomorrow?
Yeah, it's less than 24 hours. Yeah.
Are you excited?
I feel like I can't fully be excited because of all of the like extenuating circumstances that there's like meeting Leanie, meeting my dad. It's a lot to process.
Yeah.
Yes, Coomer, sister's hot. Okay, chill out. Also, secondly, half of the fucking conflict in the setup sequences of like 90 Day Fiance literally revolve around like, well, I just fucking lied to my sister. Well, okay, why didn't you just, I don't know, why didn't you just correct the mistake by being like, hey, when I told you that my husband-to-be cheated on me, it actually, that wasn't cheating because we weren't in a relationship at the time. And I also lied to you for the longest time.
Are you okay? You seem like...
Seems like it brought up kind of a sore spot for you.
I mean, I feel like the whole thing is a little bit of a sore spot for me. I think I'm just anxious. Obviously, like, I want the best for you. I want you to be as happy as you can be, and I know how important our relationship is to each other. But he's gonna be put through tests, and he better frickin' pass them, or else bye.
I've thought about it a lot. And that's like partially why I wanted to do this dinner, so that I could like come clean about a lot of things. I feel like it's important for me to tell my sister the truth just because a lot of her hatred is because of me and my dishonesty. I made things worse for Oswelu just by not clarifying and playing up like him being a kind of did keep a lot of things secret.
Like what?
Like the exclusivity of Oswelu and I. Things that went on, you kind of interpreted as him cheating, whereas
Interpreted or I was told? You're saying that you weren't exclusive so that he's not guilty?
I'm saying that I wasn't completely honest in the beginning about our relationship, that both of us felt like we wanted to be together, but it wasn't very realistic. So we kind of both left it open.
I don't know what to think about that then.
Yo, this person that you fucking despised was actually kind of in the right for doing this action that I totally lied to you about. Dude, my answer to this is stop being a Weasley little liar, dude. Okay? Still lying to his audience.
I feel like my sister revealed basically that she'd been lying about lots of things. The story that I was told was that they were together and he had slept with someone else. And she was obviously upset about it. At this point, I don't know what is true. That was a new eye-opener. I look dumb for supporting you, thinking that that's what happened. And now it's like, oh no, just kidding, that's not what happened.
But it's not. I'm like telling you that I lied about a bunch of things.
Okay, then I accept you lying about it. Now I'm... Okay, you lied. Now me and him can be best friends.
God damn.